Good morning. May the, I'm really just guessing at these days. I believe it's the 18th. I'm not 100% certain. It is a Monday. I know that. I've been making some videos on spirituality, just different things. Now, all this stuff is at the top of my head, like right now. I'm just gathering my thoughts, and I have had some things coming up recently about my spiritual gift in my journey. I don't really know where to begin. I've always known there's something different about me, and there's always been something different about me. And I hate to sound like, these videos are just about me and me and me, but this is my journey, and this is, mine alone. And I'm just putting these videos out here and speaking my truth and what's on my mind. My throat chakra. I don't know if you've watched these videos sometimes, and I'm constantly. Sometimes I have a hard time swallowing. It's almost like, I can feel my throat chakra aching sometimes. I'm constantly clearing my throat. Almost like I've got to say things. I had in meditation, I asked God once, what was my purpose? I see all these things that I'm capable of doing and I have done. And I understand that I could use these gifts to help others, to heal others. And I'd asked God to show me what exactly He would like for me to do. And I got a vision of myself standing behind a pulpit or a booth, speaking over a crowd of people. I don't know. I don't feel the preacher vibe. Nothing against preachers, but people are talking about selling my business or making money off of what I'm doing to help others, but that's not what that's about. I'm not here to gain anything for myself. If anything, the help I do is for others, not for myself. I feel that if it's God's will, or He sees that there's something for me, He will bless me. And even if it's just waking up in the morning or the air in my lungs, then to me that's payment enough. That's blessing enough. God will make a way. I'm living. My bills are paid. I've got food in my belly. There's not really much more that I want. I'm not into materialistical things. I don't care about, people ask me, what kind of car do you want? What's your favorite kind of car? And I tell them the car I'm driving right now is perfectly fine with me. I don't get into fancy clothes and fancy shoes and none of that stuff matters to me. Money doesn't matter to me. I don't care about that. Since my walk and my journey that I've been on, it's like this is my purpose. I want to show the world love and peace, and there can be love and peace, and for people to find love and peace. That's what I feel my purpose is to show as many people as I can through God that you too can find love and peace. I have got some friends who are gifted Reiki masters, is what they call them, or one in particular. I have been talking to her, and she has experienced some of the things that I can do, or I have done for her, and she asked me if I had a teacher, and no, I don't have a teacher. She said that most of these people that go through these journeys, they normally have somebody they'll turn to as a teacher. But I've pretty much gone by what God tells me and what I feel my intuition says. And this has been a journey. This has been a path that I've been taking on my own. And, excuse me. And I'm not turning to anybody other than God. Excuse me. There are some things I feel that are distracting me, and I believe the ego is getting involved with some things. We are human beings, after all. We do still have that human DNA in us. It's unavoidable. It's always going to be a journey. But every day is a challenge. Every day I feel peace. I find peace. I don't allow much to affect me anymore. I had got attacked. I'm changing subject here. I got attacked by a demon a few days ago, and it tested me. I have to admit, it tested me. They told me, this demon said that what I was doing was wrong, and I'm not helping anybody. If anything, I'm hurting them. It was so obvious, and I knew from the very beginning of this conversation that this demon and I were having, that it was, and I should have known from the very beginning to cut it off. And I even said at the beginning, when they started mentioning to me about this, I felt that this was a test. And they said, no, it's not a test. I'm just curious. And wow, so incredible. It's unbelievable. And especially now that I think back about it, it almost broke me, because I started to think, am I hurting people? Am I doing, is what I'm doing wrong? You know, I've been on this journey for a while now, and I've helped lots of people in their journey, in their walk, to help guide them in the right direction. And I've run across some dark souls, but this is the first time I've actually had an encounter with one. And it's funny, and I'm not going to compare myself to God whatsoever, but Jesus Christ, when he walked the earth, he was tempted by Lucifer himself when he was in the wilderness. For 40 days and 40 nights he fasted. And evil is coward. They're cowards. They prey on the weak. I can imagine that how physically weak God was, and I'm not going to say mentally. And maybe he was a man. He wasn't ascended yet into his Father, but he was a man, and I'm sure he was mentally weak and physically weak, fasting for 40 days without food or water. And I'm not sure about water, but I know food. You have to be very weak, and the devil knew this, and he approached him and tempted him with things. I'm sure some are familiar, some may not, but God still, even though he was tempted in his weak state, he still was more powerful than the devil. And it's funny, because as I'm thinking about this, and I'm putting my mind, and I probably was weak at the time. I don't feel that I was. I don't feel that there was any situations going on in my life that was causing me to be weak. And there may have been. Maybe I just wasn't conscious of it. But I know I got attacked. And it's funny, because I've been wanting to make some videos about evil spirits. And every time that I do, it just doesn't work out. For some reason, the words just don't come out right. We should not be speaking on evil anyway, because every time we do, even if we're speaking bad about them, that's entertaining them, because they don't care that you're speaking bad about them. just you speaking on them is entertaining enough for them. But my mind's racing, and of course now I'm thinking of the situations that I've been in, and I know this was a test. I know for sure that it was a test. And there's a gentleman, young kid that I work with. He didn't know what was going on. I worked right next to him. I didn't let him know what was going on. But we've been working together for a while, and I've helped him a lot. And he looks at me. It's funny because right in the middle of this, he looks at me. He told me that he thanked me. He said, "I thank you for helping me in my journey so far. That if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be where he's at now." And he also said that I should be a teacher. That's incredible to me. Right in the middle of that, he thanked me. Almost like God reminding me, what I'm saying? He put a thought in his head. God's powerful. He can do whatever he wants to do. And if he sees that you're in a weakened state or you're being attacked, if you're his servant and you're his follower, he's going to be there for you. If you're trying to find peace, you can always turn to God anytime that you need peace, because God will give you peace anytime. All you have to do is think of him, pray to him, and he will connect to you, and he will give you peace no matter what. Always remember that. So I had this demon attack me. It's funny because at the end of our conversation, I thanked him. I told them that thank you for doing this to me. If anything, you actually caused me to want to help more. And that was it. That was the end of the conversation. I had an encounter with a demon a while back, and it wasn't a test there. It's funny because I work at a grocery store on the weekends, and I've made videos before of saying this before, but I work at a grocery store, so I'm a cashier, so I encounter a lot of people during the day. Sad people, depressed people, angry people. All these energies are very excuse me, very easy to pick up on. And this one particular customer came through. It was an older lady. She came into my line, and I'm a very friendly person. No matter what, I'm going to say hey to you. I'm going to talk to you. I'm even going to say have a good day, be blessed. Excuse me. This one particular customer came into my line. It was an older lady. I didn't say a single word to her. I could feel her coming into my line. She didn't say nothing to me either. As I'm ringing her stuff, I can see her in my peripheral, because I'm not looking at her, but I can see her, and she's staring at me, and almost like she's studying me. And I get her stuff ringed up, put in the bag, and now she's starting to pay, and she's not looking at me, but now I'm studying her, and I'm seeing her. Really strange. It was a very different energy with her. It was very different and it was very obvious. It was a lot of arrogance. I picked up a lot of arrogance with her. A lot of manipulative energy from her. Like I said, nothing was ever spoken. She paid her bill and she walked away, and nothing was ever said, not a single word. It was really strange, but it was definitely something different about that whole situation. If you're trying to become more spiritual, even more godly, evil entities are going to be waiting for you. They're going to be standing by, waiting for you to slip. I don't know. I know that I see these things all the time, and maybe you do as well. I don't know if you ever get these visions or these figures in the corner of your eyes sometimes. Looks like maybe somebody's walking up on you, and it don't really necessarily have to be up on you. You can see it in the distance. I see it all the time. I see spirits all the time as well. But you'll see something in the corner of your eye that looks like somebody's walking, and you'll look and there's nothing there. Pay attention to the colors of these things. Normally your evil spirits or your demonic spirits are going to be black, a black mass. So if you see black, more than likely it's going to be an evil spirit. Evil, the devil wants to use you just as well as God does. God is going to, the devil is always going to test you. The closer that you become to God, the stronger evil is going to try to use you. But just be careful to what you're dabbling in, that what you're getting into, make sure that it's God and God first. Be careful with anything that's out of the God's realm. If it doesn't portray God or glorify Him, then maybe it is the other way. I'm just saying, be careful. So if you're getting into something, pray to God about it. He will tell you. He will show you. It's funny because when I first started this spiritual journey, I was speaking to God a lot, and I wanted to make sure that what I was doing was through God and from God. And He corrected me a lot on this journey. He showed me a lot of things and let me know a lot of things, that what I was doing is correct and how I'm doing it is correct. And I made sure that everything, meditation, what I'm getting into, what I'm looking into, all these colors that I see, all the visions I get, everything that I get into, I'm making sure that it's from God. I mean, I am God's child. I am a follower of Christ. And I know that He's going to protect me, and He's going to always be there for me and be with me. I know these videos aren't going to be for everybody. I know not everybody is a believer. And that's okay. This is your walk, not mine. And you have to do what you feel is best for you and what you think is best for you. I'm only telling you on my journey and how my life has been going. And hopefully some of this stuff will resonate with you and sit with you. I know it won't sit with everybody. I love everybody, and I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to become the best version of themselves that they can. I'm part of these empath groups and these Heyoka groups, and I'm not exactly sure, as far as labels go, what I am. I believed that I was a Heyoka, and I'm part of Heyoka groups, and I know some Heyokas. And a lot of the Heyokas, and I'm not saying they're not Heyokas, are not familiar with some of the things that I can do. And I've been doing some research and trying to figure out, well, what else is there? I'm able to do some of the gifts that Heyoka has. I'm able to do some of the things that starseeds have gifts-wise, and empaths, and indigos, and psychic mediums, and Reiki. It's like I've got all these capabilities of all these gifted people, and I'm like I said before, I don't have a teacher. I'm pretty much just teaching myself, and I'm doing my own research and letting God guide me. I had heard the term ascended master a while back, and I never really paid much attention to it. I never really did much research on it. But for some reason or another, somehow or another, this term came up again, because I've been trying to figure out what else is there. Because if I've got all these gifts of all these things, what does that mean? I don't know. And I found, ran across this word called ascended master, and it's funny because I did some research on Ascended Masters, and I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal or higher than anybody. I'm really not. All I'm trying to do is figure this out. Figure this journey out. That's all I'm trying to do. A lot of the things that I speak on line up with the gifts from the Ascended Masters. A lot of things where I talk about reincarnation, and I don't like using that word, but being reborn again and again. And for the reason for this is to find peace and love, because that's what we are. Even being able to predict when I'm going to die. I've always said, even as far as back as I can remember, I knew how I was going to die and when I was going to die. Believe it or not, it's going to be coming up soon, as according to my theory and what I've come up with. I was going to die of a heart attack, and before I was 50. I am 46 or 47 now. Gifted people, empathetic people, have huge hearts. All they are is heart. I have gotten myself attached to some people, like my twin flame, and I can remember the separation. It hurt me really bad, and I told her that when she leaves me, it could give me a heart attack. It could potentially break me. My heart is so huge. It doesn't mean that it's weak, but I'm sure people have heard of dying of a broken heart, and it's really just strange. I don't know. It's a theory. I don't know. It's just something that's been going on in my head for a while now. Not the broken heart thing, but the heart attack. And then this came across with my twin and I, what I told her about the dying of a broken heart. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said before, I didn't really want to speak on demonic spirits, but I just had an encounter, and they made themselves very known to me. Just be careful with your walk. Make sure that you're putting God first, if that's what you do. And everything that you do is through Him. I hope you guys have had a good day so far. Good morning, a good evening, wherever you're at. Enjoy the rest of it. Till next time, love and peace. Godspeed.